Okay, it's good you're here. This is a pretty crazy, exciting project. It's really going to blow your mind. What I'm making today is a pen box. And you can see it opens up and there's a pen inside. That makes it a pen box, right? Because it's square-ish. So first, what I did was I took the CNC, the X-Carve by Inventables, and I cut out these two devices, these two items. And my idea was that the one would fit inside the other, making it a box. And also, when flipped over, it could go in and be a display. So I cut out both pieces first, cut it around, all that, and then I realized, wait, I don't really need to do that because one, it'll be faster, and two, I can make it a more precise fit if I just do the negatives and hollow out the pieces and then cut them on the table saw or the bandsaw or whatever. And I've got both pieces that way. It's a little faster, a little easier. So I went ahead and did that with this beautiful piece of cedar that's been laying around drying for months or years. And it's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this now. And then I'm going to try a new technique called flocking. And I've been really excited to try it, one, because I think it'll look really good for this. And once I get the right design down, it'll be a really cool thing. And plus, I've had a really fun time saying flocking all day. So I'll get this all flocked up and we'll go from there. Now, I don't think you would need a CNC router or an X-Carve if you didn't have one. You could probably do this fairly simply with Forstner bits and a chisel or some other way, I don't know. But since I have one, I went ahead and used it. Now, I'm not going to show you that because a CNC machine moving around cutting stuff is incredibly boring. And there's about 1 million videos if you want to see that. So I can link you to some if you need it. But let's go ahead and cut this up and make a pen box out of it. So I'm going to cut this on the bandsaw because a variety of reasons. One, there's a bunch of stuff on my table saw, and that's really the most important reason. This is much easier because there was nothing on this saw. Now, I am making this probably into a rustic box, meaning the edge is rough and I'm not going to sand it. So I'm going to go ahead and eyeball this to perfection and cut it. Now, what I meant earlier by easier to fit it, when I did this one, even though it said it was the same size on the X-Carve, I got some slop in there, and that could be, I'm sure it's user error, but it could be a variety of things like the bit or the way I told it to cut or whatever. So rather than mess with that right now, I'm just going to kind of fit this to this. So obviously I've got this bit of shoulder left here. I'm going to kind of mimic that on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one now. And I can cut off these ends later. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. But now my main thing is I want this to fit in here. So I'm going to use this as a guide. This is a little small. And I guess if I make it too tight, I could always sand it down to make it fit. So I'm just hoping that this fits in here, and it is a little snug. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off just a little more than a blade or so. Ooh, and that's a nice snug fit. So now I can cut this off how I want it. Get all the stuff out of here. And look how rustic it makes the cuts. So this cut will be a little more tricky because I do want the thing to be centered as well as fit snugly. Alright, so the moment of truth, does the lid fit? And No, but I think I know why. Square corners, round peg. So looks like if I round those off, it looks like it's fitting this way and this way. Looks like a quick little round job will make this fit in here. Hey Chad, why don't you round the right part? Not that. Oh well, that's more design elements. Why do you say something? Oh my, like a glove. Look at that. So this is my whole flocking setup right here. Okay, so this is called a mini flocker, and ooh, it's hot in here. This actually is useful. The glue, and then this is the flocking, which it's called black suede or swood? I don't know. But it looks like crushed up felt or velvet, so I'm assuming that's what it is. The person at Woodcraft recommended I get the glue that's colored because if you don't do enough and your glue is clear or some other color, I guess you see the holes really bad. And in case you guys are wondering, it's like 100 and something out and like 50% humidity. And I turned off the swamp cooler for this video because I care about the audio quality, but whoo, it's hot. So I might be losing my mind a little bit, but that's probably good for views. I don't know, we'll see. So anyways, uh-oh, I want to cover up the directions. Basically it says, apply a generous amount. They told me to tape the inside, but I'm not going to do that because if I get it on the lip, I'll just sand it off. Although I probably don't want to sand it because it'll be like felty. So I probably should have taped it now that I think about it. Yeah, next time I'm going to tape it, so lesson learned. Ooh, hot. So get that off of there. Now I'm going to use this foam box I had in here to keep the flocking in. This will be my flocking box. And I guess you just pour a little bit in here. And the purpose of having a box is to reuse the excess flocking that spills out. I don't know how much to add, so I'm going to go with that. And then I'm going to put this in here. And I guess I just kind of, oh yeah, there it comes out. And they said, whew, they said to flock it like crazy, like flock it over and over again. Don't be afraid to over flock it. But the idea is that the flocking sticks to the glue. You dump it out, the excess, and let it dry. So, make sure I got it all around. It coated really nicely. I know it's hard to see because it's black, but if you tried to line this with something else like felt or that sticky back felt stuff, I think you'd have seams and it just wouldn't flow, whereas this really coats nice. And now I can recover my flock. So it says to let the flocking glue dry for like 15 hours. Probably in our weather, about 15 minutes, it'll be solid as a rock, but I'll probably wait till tomorrow to do any more. I am going to sand this and laser engrave the top with something, I don't know what. I won't show the sanding because it's sanding, and I think if you were able to turn on the computer and find YouTube, you probably can figure out how to sand a box, so I don't think you'd want to see it. But anyways, this is my pen box experiment. And although it's the same design, boy, they look very different, don't they? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, share, and give it a thumbs up, make a comment, and I'll see you next time. And I'm going to go turn on the swamp cooler.